Okay, let's talk about some of the challenges, because boy, is diversity of thought hard sometimes.
Yes. Communication.
Yeah.
Making sure you're actually saying what you mean, and for me, hearing what is said, I sometimes interpret things differently. So I know that about myself, so sometimes I have to ask for clarification and say, this is what I thought I heard, is this what you said?
Semantics.
Mm-hmm.
Robin, what have you found?
About the same thing, clarity, you know,
Clarity.
because sometimes you hear one thing and they mean another, and it's just okay to say, okay, well, let me repeat this back. Now, is this what you meant? You know, and then they can say yay or nay, you know, and go further. So
Sometimes it's understanding of the goal we want to reach.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we are different, we are thinking different way, and sometimes even the goal that has been brought to the table is not that understandable, and that's why this miscommunication happens and unsatisfaction, and so, yeah, maybe clarification, maybe you're right.
Brittany, can you honor diversity of thought very well when you're fatigued, rushed, tired?
No,
Right.
no, not at all.
Right, it's hard when your body's under stress to do it well, isn't it?
It is.
Have you ever tried to collaborate where there's toxic team behaviors?
Oh,
it's
yes.
the worst.
You can't. I mean,
You can't.
No.
It's
What are the toxic behaviors that, if they're occurring, can stop collaboration in its tracks?
when somebody believes that they know everything and like they don't want to hear what everybody else has to say.
Yeah, that's
You
the
know,
biggest.
It just
the
kind of
biggest.
shuts down and that's
Mhm.
it. What I say is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Resentment and alliances.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hostile body language. Have you ever had that?
Oh yes, stonewalling.
Stonewalling.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, passive aggressive behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they'll sit there and smile and nod their head while you're in a meeting, but then they'll go off and act independently.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and that really all stems from poor conflict resolution skills.
Mhm.
Right. But you can't, one of the things I've learned over the last couple of years is don't bother collaborating if you have these toxic behaviors going on. Rather spend your time focusing on those toxic behaviors and getting rid of them so that you can collaborate.
Exactly.
And getting outside help if you need it.
Getting outside help. Is there anything wrong with getting outside help,
Yeah.
Robin?
No.
Nope.
But if you are seeking for outside help, I think that the team has to be aware of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everyone has to agree that now you came to the dead end, right? And you need to get some assistance. But if you do not get this consensus, then you probably
Well,
not
the
doing
thing
right.
is, my definition of a dead end, it may be different than yours.
Yeah.
And this is what happened on his team. His team's definition of the dead end was by the time there was carcasses on the road,
Mm-hmm.
right? Versus the cars were still running, right? But they needed help changing lanes.
Exactly.
So if I had to err, I would err on the side of getting help sooner rather than later.
well, that
Oh,
goes
yeah,
back. It
because
goes back.
it's easier.
Sure, but a lot of people don't view that because it's their perspective. Their perspective is
Ego.
exactly.
It's ego.
It's the ego, and they're driven by that.
And if one thing we all haven't learned is most of us are conflict avoiders.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we have toxic behaviors.
Sure.
And until you learn conflict resolution skills, you're going to need to get outside help more often than not.
Well, because most people don't view conflict as a positive thing. They really
Right.
don't, because it's been beaten into our heads since we were little that we all have to be able to get along somehow, some way. And so most people don't see that conflict is actually someone trying to engage in some sort of communication with you.
Right.
And
That's true. But there will be conflict. And when I'm interviewing people, I say diversity of thought is conflict is diversity of thought, right? And it's how you handle it that makes it a positive or negative experience.
True.
And that comes through skills training
Mm-hmm.
and mindset.
Mm-hmm. Well, really, but you're right. But the most important thing that I think people fail to recognize is that we really only have, there's two most important things that we're dealing with in conflict resolution. And there's only two things that you truly, truly, truly can control. It's yourself and how you react to certain situations and your attitude. And then you have to decide whether or not you're going to have a positive attitude towards the situation or you're going to have a negative. And that really is going to determine the outcome of what happens on your team.
Or your ability to listen to diverse ideas
Of course.
and not shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.